Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Wearing this.
All right.
Wearing only this.
Ah, nude scenes. A beloved part of cinema since forever.
Hi, Brad.
But what's their hidden meaning beyond just sex?
It's nice.
And shocking the senses? I'm breaking it down using the most iconic nude scenes of all time, starting with Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street. She plays Naomi LaPaglia, who seduces, quite easily as we'll see, Jordan Belfort, who's a wealthy Wall Street scammer. Naomi is a ruthless climber who goes after what she wants.
We've got an awesome place here. I don't think I've ever been in a house this big before.
Despite Jordan normally being extremely confident and getting what he wants, Naomi is the one dominating him.
We're not gonna be friends.
And when she invites him up to her apartment for tea, he thinks he's seducing her.
God help me, how do I this girl?
But she wants him to know that despite him being married and his wealth, she can yield power over him, and she uses her body and sex to do it, causing him to become putty in her hands, abandoning his ethics and better instincts.
That's it. You're leaving. Don't get involved. Go home to your wife.
In an interview, Margot Robbie sums it up perfectly.
She's got no money, and the only thing she has is this influence over men and this way of manipulating them, so she's using it.
From that moment on, he's hers. He leaves his wife. He marries Naomi and gives her everything.
Are you serious? I'm serious. Yacht?
See, the nudity was not only a pivotal point to the story, but significant to the character's control of power dynamics. In fact, the nudity was actually Margot Robbie's idea. Director Martin Scorsese said she could wear a robe in the scene to make her more comfortable. In an interview, Robbie explains, "That's not what she would do in that scene. The whole point is that she's going to come out completely naked. That's the card she's playing." And as for her performing the scene itself, it probably helped her confidence, not knowing how massive the movie would be.
At the time, I thought, no one's going to notice me in this film. I'll just kind of like slip under the radar.
Although, she did admit to being nervous.
But I'm not going to lie, I had a couple of shots of tequila before that scene because I was very nervous.
Yeah, if I was her, I'd be more nervous knowing that roughly 40 million people saw that scene on the big screen, which actually pales in comparison to arguably the most watched nude scene of all time, Kate Winslet in Titanic, who bared skin in the 4th highest grossing film of all time. If you somehow haven't seen it, she plays Rose, who's engaged to Cal, a wealthy, controlling man she doesn't love, who her mother chose for her to secure their lifestyle. Despite having access to everything, lavish art, swanky traveling, and a $300 million diamond necklace given to her by Cal, she also has nothing. No choices, no freedom, and feels suffocated to the point of hopelessness. That is until she meets Jack, who's poor, but sees her as more than a possession, and they develop a romance. This is a threat to Rose's ma.
You're not to see that boy again. Do you understand me? Rose, I forbid it. It's so unfair. Of course it's unfair. We're women. Our choices are never easy.
Women's choices in 1912 weren't easy. They had little rights, and Rose is being forced to stay in her cage. Or she can take a risk. So when she asks Jack to draw her naked, it's her making a hard choice, but doing it in style. It's her middle finger to society and all the people that tried to suppress her right to love. Not only is her nudity sexual and therefore the ultimate rebellion back then,
it was the most erotic moment of my life.
But it's a metaphor, showing that even when she's stripped down to nothing, she can have power over the people who tried to control her. By wearing nothing but that diamond necklace, the symbol of her cage, she's breaking free from it by owning it. She reclaims it from Cal and gives it away to Jack, along with herself and her love. Her shedding her robe is not just her getting naked, she's shedding her social class and her old, depressing life.
The last thing I need is another picture of me looking like a porcelain doll.
Notice how even her words are symbolic. She was a doll, a possession to fulfill the wants of others. But for the first time, she's prioritizing her wants.
I expect to get what I want.
Notice her swagger and command over Jack. Compare that to before when she could barely speak without being put down. This scene is so impactful, not because of the nudity itself, but because she uses it to rebel and take back control. And as much as it was about reclaiming her confidence, nudity can also be used as a tool to dominate men, as shown by Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct, through arguably the most recognizable nude shot in movie history. She plays Catherine Trammell, who is a suspect in a brutal murder of a man stabbed by a woman during sex. Despite being a prime suspect, she's extremely calm and open.
I liked having sex with him.
She's being interrogated by a room full of male detectives who think they're in control, but she ends up being the one to intimidate them, using her sexuality as a weapon, and starts to ask them the questions.
Have you ever f***ed on cocaine, Nick?
And I don't blame the men for letting their imaginations distract them.
It's nice.
What she's doing is calculated. Even just before the detectives brought her in, she put a card up her sleeve to play later.
Could I change into something more appropriate?
As they're grilling her, trying to get her to slip up, she does something that's so cemented in cinema lore that, like me, you probably saw some version of it, even if you hadn't seen the film yet. It's her checkmate that makes every man in the room go silent and lose focus. In case you couldn't tell, the casual uncrossing of her legs gives the men a brief glimpse of her holiest of holes, which was not only cunning and calculated,
Could I change into something more appropriate?
but shows how nudity can be used as a weapon to disarm men, and she uses its most overt form in the most casual way. I'm not gonna lie, before making this video, I had never actually watched Basic Instinct, but it's one of the most intense, gripping movies I've ever seen. In case you didn't know, sexual crime thrillers like this were huge in the 90s, and this movie launched Sharon Stone into superstardom. According to her, she had no idea when filming that it would actually show her stairway to heaven, saying she was deceived into appearing bottomless, and that director Paul Verhoeven told her, "We can't see anything. I just need you to remove your panties as the white is reflecting the light, so we know you have panties on." When she first saw a screening of the movie, she went to the projection booth, slapped Paul across the face, left, went to my car, and called my lawyer. But like many other expressions of nudity in film, this one was about more than skin. It was significant to the scene, the story, and the character's power dynamic. And Sharon recognized that, saying, "Once I had time to calm down, I didn't make him take it out of the movie when I had the legal right to." Her character brilliantly used her body to control with fantasy, whereas for some women, they don't even know how much power their body has over men, like Phoebe Cates' character in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. She plays Linda, who bears her cannons in probably the most famous portrayal of male fantasy in all of film. Brad Hamilton comes home to find his sister's friend Linda hanging by the pool. And, as teenage boys do, he fantasizes about her and starts spanking his monkey. Now, in his defense, this was 1982, where porn wasn't widely accessible. Boys were mainly left to their imagination. And that's why this scene is so iconic. Because for men, it's so relatable. And for women, unfortunately, it gives a glimpse into the reality that is our teenage minds. So why does she have to get naked?
Hi, Brad.
Well, the nudity is what makes the scene so authentic and real. It's Brad's fantasy.
Hi, Brad. You know how cute I always thought you were.
In a true fantasy, anything you want happens. You're not limited by clothes. I remember the first time I watched it, I didn't expect it to show anything given the context, but then it does. And it's like, holy shit, that actually makes sense. It's in his head. Why wouldn't he see everything? And the more sensational the fantasy, the more grounding and embarrassing it is when Linda shatters it by walking in on him.
Does anybody f***ing knock anymore?
And for anyone who ever imagined something great happening to them, that in the end never actually happened, this scene is a salute to your pain. The more you build up the fantasy in your mind, the more sobering it is when reality comes crashing in, which is portrayed perfectly by Mina Subari in American Beauty. She plays Angela Hayes, the confident friend of Jane. Jane's dad is this guy, Lester Burnham. Lester is having a massive midlife crisis. And when he lays eyes on Angela, he feels alive again.
I feel like I've been in a coma for about 20 years. and I'm just now waking up.
He fantasizes about her. The roses are symbolic. Purity, beauty, sexual perfection. She's not just a girl. She's an ideal. Everything he's missing from his life. If you haven't seen it, I know it seems creepy, but the movie is a classic and became a cultural phenomenon. Anyway, Angela's confidence and maturity about her sexuality seems to match Lester's imagination.
I'm used to guys drooling over me, and I still like it. If people I don't even know look at me and want to me, it means I really have a shot at being a model.
And his fantasy seems impossible until...
Dad's actually kind of cute.
Shut up. He is. If he just worked out a little, he'd be hot. If he built up his chest and arms, I would totally him.
And as the movie progresses, all the tension escalates towards something actually happening.
Wow, look at you. Have you been working out?
And when they find themselves alone, everything Lester's been dreaming of has been leading up to this moment. But when they start getting intimate, the confidence Angela was posturing is nowhere to be seen. She seems nervous. As Lester removes her shirt, it feels eerily anticlimactic. Lester has been propping her up as this goddess, and then her bare chest is nothing special. It's just a body. And then...
I thought you said I was beautiful.
You are beautiful.
I'm sorry.
Lester realizes she's just a scared, insecure girl. All that bravado and flirtation, it was an act. The fantasy is shattered. See, her nudity reflects the objectification and obsession of modern desire. It's about how others see her, not who she is. She's naked in the sense that she's stripped of all her fake confidence and is seen for the real person she is, someone who needs protection, not seduction. Just like Lester, it's easy to get caught up in the fantasy of these scenes. But next time, try and appreciate its significance instead of just gawking. And honestly, there's plenty of other iconic scenes I left out, so if you want to see a part 2, smash that like button and let me know in the comments. I'm Donny Else, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.